sitting down now. Darrell Hammond, the comedian, headlines Caroline's on Broadway in New York City from tonight through Saturday, June 18th. For tickets, you can visit carolines.com. He's got his Yankee hat on today. Look at you.
Yes, sir.
Still a Yankee fan.
You know, world's biggest ESPN watcher, but I only get ESPN 1 and 2, so I haven't had a chance. I can't watch your show. How do I watch your show?
NBC Sports Network and DirecTV, the Audience Network as well.
So I got to get DirecTV?
I can help you.
I'm happy to do it.
I can hook you up.
Happy to do it.
Yeah,
good.
I can hook you up.
Good.
Just like I'll get you DirecTV for one day, and then they'll take it out. So you can watch the show.
I want to watch your show.
Okay.
I used to film in here when someone else was using the studio and you were next door, and I always wanted to watch your show, but I didn't know how. But now I do.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you here.
$1 million for a cup of coffee.
Oh, boy.
Anybody at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send some of my best people on that.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways I wanted to go with you with the whole thing of having, 100... Wait, are you struggling? Are you fighting with the microphone here?
You know, sound is important.
Okay.
And, you know, it is.
Right.
I mean, you know, you've seen...
You sound great.
You've seen Steph Curry in the drills. He's very careful about the stuff he does.
Okay.
And I try to be about a tenth as conscientious as him. He's kind of becoming more and more a role model.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because, we all want to improve. We all want to find ways to improve. And I made this mistake with Jerry Seinfeld. I just naturally assumed that he just walked out there and he was like that. I didn't know that his work habits were legendary and prodigious. And now Steph Curry, I'm told as soon as I get home, I'm going to look up Steph Curry goggles, you know, those drills that he does.
But you have to have a lot of preparation for what you do.
I do have a lot, but you kind of need inspiration. You know, I mean, SNL brought me back to play Trump, and we have a pretty good Trump. You know, it's a Trump that's resonating with audiences, but this is a new guy. You know, this is not the guy we knew, not the guy I hung out with in his office. You know, I don't know. You know, we've often said to each other, we don't know this guy. You know, and so we're there's more to learn.
But do you want Trump to get elected as a comedian?
No, I'm not. I'm pretty crass and shallow, but I'm not that shallow. And I'm not saying that I'm against him being elected, but, you know, wanting someone to get elected for that reason, the country's maybe a little bit more important
you think so?
Than my silly
your career?
Than my wigs and fake noses.
What do you listen for in a voice?
The first thing is, since SNL is a speed game, I mean, people don't understand that it's just a speed game. You know, it doesn't go on, as Lauren says, because it's ready. It goes on because it's 11:30.
Yeah.
So you're always against the clock, and you never have enough time. And so because it's a speed game, I like to look, is there something about this voice I've done before? Can I get a head start? Can I be a little bit ahead? And then you go into is it an educated dialect? Does he have a dialect? Meaning, did he start out with a thick accent, move somewhere else, and through exposure and education lose the dialect or modify the dialect? So hand gestures. And that's the thing with Trump that's becoming increasingly more fascinating. You know, everyone's is different depending on how many people are in the room. Now he's in front of 4 to 25 to 30,000, and you're seeing 10 hand gestures. You know, Reagan had 10, but I would argue, even to his detractors, that in front of an audience, he's powerful. He's powerful. You know, Clinton had 38, Reagan had 10 or so, and Trump has around 10. Got to learn those. And he yells now. You know, when you yell like you're trying to talk like someone. When you yell, no one sounds like themselves when they're yelling. So there's a lot that I want to learn over the summer and hopefully improve. And maybe Steph Curry, I mean, certainly he's an inspiration at a minimum.
Can you do Steph Curry voice?
I would love to. I mean, if there was a reason for it. I mean, every time I look at the guy, I'm more inspired by him. Aren't you?
Oh, yeah. But I was inspired by him when he was at Davidson.
Okay.
When he was sort of this slight kid who didn't get to go to a big program, who was taking Davidson on this journey in the tournament, for a couple of years. I knew his dad, so I'd been aware of Steph for a long time.
Yeah.
And I always thought he'd just be a shooter in the NBA. I didn't know he'd be the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the great part, is to see somebody who's good and then gets better and better and better.
Yes.
The great ones end up doing that.
Yes. See?
Yeah.
I know you're about to refer to your notes, so I'm gonna beg.
Okay, so but all of these voices, though,
Yes,
I mean, it's crazy, the spectrum here of voices.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to say, all right, this is A and this is Z from the spectrum there of the voices you do, the impersonations you do.
What's the spectrum consist of?
Yeah. So just
vocal range, variety,
toughest to easiest.
Okay.
What would be the toughest?
I was terrible at Newt Gingrich. I couldn't make that sound.
What was the sound?
His voice. I couldn't do it. Couldn't even come close. And there have been a number of those, but mercifully, Lauren doesn't usually put them on the air.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Start with that.
Who's the person to tell you that that's not it, or you didn't get
There's
it?
a guy, Steve Higgins, is a friend of mine. He's also
he'll be honest.
He's a producer, and he'll come in and tell you don't have it.
What about when you nail it? Who tells you?
He does. He's kind of like the coach.
You don't know it?
I often feel it. I often feel really good about it. But, he's a coach. He's the coach, and he's also a friend. But everyone needs an observer, I believe, no matter how well you're doing. I think you need someone that you allow to come in and say to you, that's not it, or you're not right.
Do you feel like you are, no matter where you are, what you do, somebody wants to hear a voice?
Yes.
It's a compliment, but does it also, it's like a musician when they see you, they want you to sing.
See, yes. Well, I can't tell you the number of women that went out with me who started out vaguely and then went to intensely disappointed that they weren't sitting across the table from Bill Clinton or anyone like Bill Clinton. Nothing like him at all.
Do people mistake you for Bill Clinton?
They don't mistake me, but I have had women go out with me just because I played him. Women from all walks of life, from shadowy reputation to,
yeah,
more famous.
Wow. But could you call somebody and just, let's say you're ordering a pizza.
Yeah.
Could you order a pizza and they would think that Bill Clinton was ordering that pizza?
I don't know.
You've never done that?
No. The first time that happened, I was in Chicago on a radio show, and they wanted me to call up Oprah and impersonate Ted Koppel. And not tell her I was in person, but just like, hi, Oprah, it's Ted Koppel. What are you doing this morning? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking about you all night in ways that are strange to me. And I wouldn't do it, and I certainly wouldn't do it with a president, because it's not as bad as impersonating a police officer, but it feels pretty bad.
Close.
It feels bad, yeah.
Maybe you could have been Gandhi.
I doubt that. Mr. Gandhi probably doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Plus asking for
What do you
pizza.
mean, be Gandhi?
Well, you could impersonate Gandhi.
Impersonate?
And asking for pizza is Gandhi.
Ask who? President Clinton?
No. Gandhi would call the pizza place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is Mahatma Gandhi. I want to be talking to you about the thin crust. That's not nice.
It's not.
But
I like that.
It's funny.
Yeah, I like that. But you're looking from Chris Matthews, Sean Connery, Phil Donahue, Jack Nicholson, Richard Dreyfuss.
I never did Nicholson. Don't know how that happened.
Oh, yeah, it says Jack Nicholson.
Nope.
No, you can't do it.
I never tried.
You're the one who doesn't do Nicholson.
Yeah. I mean, at a certain point, like, you'll look at somebody and go, okay, because of your work, I don't want to try. Some people's impressions are so good.
Oh, okay.
I always thought Dana Carvey's Regis was so good, and yet I got called upon to do it. But he didn't leave me much to work with. I was kind of, I called him and said, I kind of have to be doing some of what you did. The boss wants me to do it this weekend.
He's Darrell Hammond. Headlines, Caroline's on Broadway in New York City tonight through Saturday, June 18th. For tickets, visit carolines.com. Also, when you come up with these voices, it's one thing to have the voice. It's another thing to have content that goes along with the voice. Because I think that sometimes people mistake that. Oh, you do the voice, but what do you then do with the voice? Like Sean Connery with Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Then you're doing the voice, but you're doing something funny with that.
Yeah, well, two things. One is, we decided pretty early after that, particularly after a year of doing Al Gore for dress rehearsal audiences as accurately as we thought we could do it and not getting any response from them. We decided, Lauren said to me, they should be like more like Hirschfeld's. Those caricatures, those gorgeous caricatures, that caricatures play better in front of a crowd. So when I say it's an SNL character, what I mean is you're in this enclave and the writers do it for you and you do it for the writers and you do it for the producer and you take it out in front of an audience and you do it for each other. And the next thing you know, this person is born and it's more of an exaggeration than 100% accurate,
What was the reaction you got that was negative from somebody you did?
No one's ever said anything, but I've seen some stony glares.
By who?
I'm not telling you. I mean, I was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I was shivering me timbers. I was looking at some of the power brokers out in that audience going, rubbed him the wrong way, didn't I? And then there's always the times when the closer you come to being too distasteful, the funnier you are. You don't want to go over the line. But sometimes you step over, and then you want to call up and apologize. I remember I went to a correspondence dinner once with Chris Matthews, and someone from Cheney's office came by and went, I showed the Veep, that last one. I went, okay, please tell him. He knows that got away from me. All right, tell him that got away from me. I had that experience with Hillary, but I didn't get a chance to tell her in person. Although when I saw her this year, she was super friendly and fun. I thought she might be a little mad at me because of this one joke.
About Bill or about Hillary?
About them.
Oh, about them.
Yeah, it crushed, it killed. But I remember saying it at the time. I'm a dead man.
Well, you got to tell me now what it is.
Oh, well, the joke is, as Clinton, I was on SNL one time, and I went, I'll take this out. I said, I will not interfere with Hillary's campaign for president because the last thing in the world I want to do is screw Hillary. and I remember thinking to myself, I've never felt worse than I do now, and I've been in a car crash. I feel the same concussive, agony because I knew that it was a big joke. But I mean, I have great respect for. My father was a soldier, and I have a lot of respect for our first ladies and our presidents. I know,
of course you do.
And I was like, okay, now there's your textbook example of over the line. Now, as fate would have it, I was supposed to see her 2 days later at the Plaza Hotel. I was doing an event with Mayor Bloomberg, and I waited in the hall there at the Plaza. I wanted to say, I'm really sorry about that one, and I didn't write it. I'm just an actor trying to earn a living and such, put my kid through school, trying to earn a living. And, hey, Seth Meyers wrote that. I was totally going to turn him out. I was so scared. But I didn't get to. But she's smart and she's been in the game.
She's been through it.
And she was. I was so happy to see her this year and have a hug and be real friendly with her.
I'd love for you to talk baseball next time and have you come back. I'd love
can't
to.
wait.
I'd love to. You got a lot of baseball stories.
I got some Bochy stories. Let me tell you about the slider. Let me tell you about the time I took steroids. I want to give you my steroid experience. Are we wrapping up here?
That's yes.
Oh, come on.
Okay, you want to do what?
No. May I come back and tell the steroid story and then tell what it was like to see Bochy throw a baseball from behind home plate when the rest of us were mere mortals?
Yes.
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Awesome.
And what I loved about Bochy is if you took his hat, you could put a 6-pack of beer in it and ice because he had an 8 head.
Costas called me when I was talking to him in my dressing room once. He's like, I understand you're friends with Boch. And I'm like, we played together. He's like, third biggest head in all of sports, second to O.J. Simpson and Faye Vincent. And I was like, Bob, I'm rarefied. I mean, thank you. What a great. I have to tell you, my meeting cost us. I mean, I want to come back.
Okay, but we will have you back.
Thank you.
You know what? We'll take a break.
All right.
I'll let you tell when you took steroids
Yeah, okay.
and when you met Bob Costas.
Okay.
Are you listening to my voice to try to imitate
Well, here's
my
the
voice?
problem with your voice. You have perfect speech. So does Bob. So that's not easy. You know, Bob, actually, I told him that, you know. He came up to me. This is his opening. I want to tell you my...
Okay, wait, let's hold on.
All right.
Yeah, it's a tease is what it is.
And then I want to tell you what Trump's...
Okay, but it's a tease. Tease.
We're teasing.
Do you want to do Trump to break here? That you'll come back to tease you're taking
No,
steroids?
I just want to tell the time I met Trump and the time I met Costas.
Okay. No, don't be difficult here.
All right.
Man.
I'm playing along.
Okay. And who put in that he did Jack Nicholson, Fritzy?
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay.
I saw that in the bio, and
That's okay.
obviously it's not
He
accurate.
doesn't do Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He does like 107 other people. Though.
After I saw Jim Brewer do Nicholson, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing
You
him.
can't do that.
I'm not doing him.
Plus, do people do this to you? Hey, listen to my impersonation?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
We're going to do our impersonations for you when we come back.
Great.
Well, see, you're going to hate it, but it's content.
You're going to do your impressions?
Yeah.
And I'm going to grade them?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Sound a little more excited,
So,
Darrell.
I've got coffee.
You got coffee.
And if I had milk and cream,
Oh, my God.
then I could
Drama queen.
reach my full intellectual
You know what
capacity.
you're doing? You're impersonating a drama queen extremely well right now.
Thank
Yes.
you.
America awaits the steroid story.
Oh.
You're meeting with Bob Costas and you're meeting with Donald Trump.
Which one first?
Yeah. Do we want to build this up? Do we
Let's
start?
start with, I don't know, maybe we end with the steroid, but maybe we start with the steroid because everyone, you know, people, you know, kids in school go, why is that cheating?
Yeah.
Is that cheating?
Yeah.
And maybe, if everyone else is doing it, maybe it's not. But this is my experience. I mean, I slipped on the ice once. I was doing a 90-minute performance, and I slipped on the ice once, maybe, Michelle, that was 4 years ago. My friend Michelle is here. She was filming me that night. I slipped on ice in front of my building and hit all 200 pounds of me, not muscled, okay, but all of me hit, feet up, airborne temporarily, plop. And I walked into this doctor's office like this. I'm going to do it as accurately as I can, like this.
He's moving very slow, by the way. He's all crunched
Are
over.
we not on TV?
And radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's moving very, very slow. Very crunched over. Oh, this looks like he's in a lot of
For
pain.
your radio on, it's like,
Yeah, that's the radio. Yeah. Now I've got that in my mouth. Yeah.
and I said, I have a 90-minute show. The doctor said, what if I give you some steroids? And I said, okay. So she puts me down on the table, and she gave me maybe 5 or 6 shots, different parts of my body. And I laid there for about a half an hour. And I mean, a half an hour later, she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, how do I feel? Right from the moment when I met her, saw her. You're walking along the street, or you're at a party, or else you're alone, and then you suddenly did, Well, is that cheating?
No, in Hollywood, you're allowed to use performance-enhancing drugs.
Okay, but I mean, the difference in me was so profound.
Yeah.
I was like, I could totally hit one out today. I could hit one out at a Yankee Stadium today. That's what I felt like. But I can imagine if I was, because I played in junior college, I could hit a long ball. If you ever talk to Bochy, he'll tell you I could hit I just couldn't hit a slider. But I can imagine the thrill of just going on steroids and going in a batting cage for 6 months and then stepping up to the plate and seeing how far I can hit one down the line. I'd love it.
All right, so you meet Trump.
Trump at a party came up to me, and he didn't say to me, all the people of destiny I always find are pretty different in several ways, and I mean that in a good sense. But he came up to me at a party on Broadway, and he didn't say, hi, I'm Donald. Hi, I'm Mr. Trump. He walked up to me. I had only played him one time on SNL, and he walked up to me and he goes, "You're gonna make big money because of me, huge money because of me, such tremendous money. You're going to say, Donald, stop it. I'm making too much money. I can't take it anymore. Believe me, I must tell you. Okay. Yeah. And you want the Costas thing?
Yeah, give me the Bob Costas one.
Okay, he was going to interview. He had a show on HBO at the time, and I went there. And his open to me was, "You've got the great couple, you've got the great Clinton, you've got the great Gore, but you can't do me. You failed utterly." Now, he's got perfect speech. It's hard to do him. You know, I mean, do you see a lot of great Bob Costas out there?
I don't know if there's a big calling for it, but no.
I thought it was a good story.
It is a good
Did
story.
Anyone else here?
It is a great story.
Party?
Yeah, it's a great. They're a very tough
I should
audience.
have ended with the steroid
Yeah, you
story.
should have. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Do you guys have an impersonation here that you're willing to put on display for Darrell to judge? Fritzy?
I was going to do a little Marge Simpson.
Okay, Marge Simpson. Okay, here we go.
I'm so excited that Darrell Hammond's here. I love him over the years on Saturday Night Live.
I would have thought that was her. That's out of 10. That's a 10.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that.
That's great.
Wouldn't you say?
Now, we don't want to go after that.
Yeah. Anybody else got one?
Yeah, now it's all downhill.
Yeah, Paul.
Stone Phillips hosting Dateline.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
Murder in the Heartland. That's it. That's a whole invitation.
Wait, that's it? Well, I'm going to give it a 9.9.
Wow.
No, because it sounds really good, right?
Thank
It
you.
does sound great.
Seton, you got one for Darrell?
Steve Spurrier?
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that. Urban gonna tell you. That Jadeveon ain't help player.
Well, it's really good, but it's not a 10.
Okay.
But it could be.
If you know.
If I worked with you,
Yeah, well-
I could teach you how to do it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that.
you gotta,
Urban tell you.
you got to be pulling up your pants, too.
Yeah, well, something sticking in my side there. Yeah, well,
I think
Urban
it's,
get 'em, though.
It's excellent.
Let's see. I do a little Reagan.
All right.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
That's not bad.
I like.
I haven't.
the
Can I
song.
try that with you? Because I never really did Reagan before.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be as good as yours. Is that all right? All right. It's like, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Yes. How about
If you have a bicycle pump and leave it outside overnight, all of a sudden
how about Jimmy Stewart?
can't do it.
Mary, is that you? Mary. That's all I got.
That's a 9.
Oh,
That's
but
damn good.
9.
What's wrong with 9?
Well, I like 10s.
I don't have any 10s. I don't think. I don't think.
Your go-to one that you say this kills no matter what is
The only person I can really duplicate, like on a sonar, like if you matched my voice on a sonar, like I did E.T. once for a theme park ride at Universal, and they matched my voice on sonar with the original.
Oh, I love that.
So the only one I could actually do would probably be Al Sharpton on Hannity.
okay.
By the way, I am doing Al Sharpton singing Kung Fu Fighting this weekend.
Oh, at Caroline's?
Yes, because
love
I'm a great admirer of Al Sharpton. How he has the ability to always say what he's thinking. I mean, that takes a lot of courage. He always seems to be saying what he's thinking. As a result, he says things others don't say. I love him. I can't stop looking at this authentic man. And I was watching TV one day, and I saw Dick Eppert talking about Homeland Security. And I changed the channel. I saw Joe Lieberman talking about tax cuts. I turned on Hannity, and I heard Sharpton say, I did not call Giuliani a bozo. I said Bozo could have done just as good a job as Rudy Giuliani. Now, clearly, that's not calling Giuliani Bozo. Clearly, that's not saying Giuliani is Bozo. And clearly, there's a world of difference between saying that Giuliani is Bozo and saying they have a similar degree of talent.
Well done. Awesome. He's Darrell Hammond. We're going to close up shop now.
Good.
Darrell Hammond,
Yeah.
headlining Caroline's on Broadway in New York City from tonight through Saturday, June 18th. For tickets, visit carolines.com. Loved having you.
I love being here.
We'd love to have you back again.
Can we talk baseball
Yes, we
later
can.
in the summer?
Yes, we can.
Awesome.
We can. We will.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.